feel
Yeah,
like
did you did you hear the episode that just came out today?
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, this the first episode. It's our first episode back. Because this is our second season, the first episode. So yeah, this the first one today. So you need to check that out.
Okay, bet. I was listening to the 2018 recap.
Uh-huh.
Y'all are hilarious, man. Y'all had some excellent takes, like stuff I didn't even think about, like, from 2018. But
Right.
you know what? We'll get into that a little bit later. First of all,
Okay.
this is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. Just hashtag RTBTH. I promise you'll find us on everything. So, we're in the business of hot takes. We're in the business of just having general discussion about culture, sports, life, everything. And today we have Pootah, who is also the head of PootahTV, which
Yes,
you can find
yes.
on YouTube. And anyway, what's good, Pootah?
Hey man, what's up, Tune man? I'm glad to be on your platform, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. So, quick shout out to the Basketball Prince who introduced us. We had a pool party about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
where I first met you. But, what I really actually liked when I met you was that you were just starting up your media business,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have PootahTV.
Yes, sir.
Quickly, like I said, again, shout out to the Basketball Prince. We need to get him back on the podcast again soon. But quickly, man, go ahead and shout out your social medias, your channels.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Pootah. Website is www.PootahTV.com. You can follow me on YouTube for daily content and interviews at YouTube.com/PootahTV, Instagram and Twitter official Pootah, and Snapchat Poot4Prez. My wife just bought me an Xbox 2 days ago, so I'm back on the Xbox. If y'all want to get beat in Madden 2K, Poot4Prez on the Xbox.
All right. Okay, cool. So, like I said, when I first met you, I think you were just starting to get your media business going. We talked about podcast recording methods. So tell me about that, man. I really, really like kind of what I see, and I was listening to the Shady Bunch. Y'all were hilarious. So tell me about your media business.
So I first started off back when I was 8. I started off when I was rapping. I went by the name Pootah. Back then, did several amount of shows. 106 in Park, Wild on Wednesday. I was bidding on Fox, MSNBC performing. So, I've been, kind of around the business. I could say damn near my whole life. But, when I got to be 15, 16, like around 10 years ago, I just started to lose a love for the game of rap. So, but I was like, I still want to stay around the business, but I don't want to be, I guess, the rapper. So, it took me some time to figure out what I wanted to do. First, I wanted to be a journalist and I wanted to write, but I'm like, shit, man, I ain't no good writer, man. I ain't even gonna lie to myself. I'm not a great journalist. So I'm like, I can, interview everybody. And that's something that people that aren't doing at the time. So I just like, you know what? Let me give it a shot, and I shout out to my Uncle Griff, 2 Trillion. He's on 102.5 Praise in Atlanta, Dallas, Detroit. And I started, one of my big influences was Charlamagne, because I just, one day, I said, man, what I want to do in my life. And I just seen all of these Breakfast Club videos just going viral. And the first video I seen him making Lil Mama cry. I'm sorry, that's the first interview I saw, but I seen that one, and I just stayed home. I skipped work one day and I just watched their whole catalog. So now, I had a lot of inspirations, and this is how I got to the point where I'm at now.
Great. So actually, I was thinking, at RTBTH, we don't do much interviewing, but I would like to do a little bit more of that. So I figured I could get you, who interviews people, on the podcast so I can interview you, so we can talk about interviewing.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, so again, appreciate you coming on. So about interviewing, I think I saw some content that you posted on your Instagram about Huncho Day. I know you had contact with Gucci Mane. It seems like you're very plugged in to what's going on in Atlanta and the hip-hop music business. So tell me about what business is like these days.
Oh man, it's getting tough, because it's a lot of competition. It's a lot of talent, especially, I'm in Atlanta, so, I've been around the country, doing what I do, and especially in Atlanta, it's a lot of competition. So it's kind of tough, and you have to be creative. you know, you have to stand out from everybody because it's everybody that's like myself that's trying to do what I do. So a lot of times, you know, I may finesse my way into something, even if I don't get invited, I'm finessing my way in because that's an opportunity for me, you know. So it's, you know, it's just that, just competitive and competition, really.
Okay, I hear you. So I feel like it's very similar to the rap game. You know, technology has made it so that everyone can compete. It's not just people who have a lot of money. Even with RTBTH, man, we're still very much like, you know, a makeshift setup. You know, we just got our microphones, our laptops, a couple great online applications for connecting with guests. But I mean, I feel like we're doing okay. And same with all people in your position. Like, there's so much you can do with not that much, and you can get good and you can get popular. So this is very interesting to me. Why do you think that some people are able to succeed? You mentioned about standing out. You know, how do you think that the 2019 landscape of media has influenced your business?
Oh man, I think it's because of the new things that they're adding on social media. You know, social media is very key, you know, to my success thus far, and a lot of other people that's in media success, because without no social media following or without no spark of buzz, you know, a lot of my videos, you know, wouldn't go into 100,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever, you know, featured on the Shade Room or Baller Alert, and have, you know, one of my stories broke when I interviewed my former boss, Deborah Anthony Walker's mom, where it was discussing the Gucci Man book. You know, that took off. Next thing, I woke up in the morning, I was on Double XL, I was on the Shade Room, I was on, you know, Vibe.com. It was a lot of publications. So I believe social media and what they're, you know, continuously to build is a great platform for creatives like myself.
Yeah, the social media game is tough. It's challenging, but you know, I think there's also a lot of room for creativity. Sounds like you've been able to harness some of that in order to build the following that you have. And you know, like I said earlier about the rap game, like I feel like you don't have to do crazy numbers in order to be successful. You know, you said 30,000, 100,000 views on YouTube, man. That is excellent.
Right. And I think not to cut you off too, I think with the rap, now the numbers really don't matter per se, but it if you're on, like, and also if you're doing it independently, you know, the numbers don't matter because you can sell a tape, you know, $9.99, and you know, and recoup all of that money because you're independent, you know. But you know, with myself, you know, kinda in a way, numbers do matter because you got to think. Just say if you interview someone and 90,000 people are going to see it, and that, just myself, I'm looking like, dang, this video got 90,000 people looking at it. I'm gonna be that 91,000 person. So, you know, views, you know, because nobody's not gonna watch a video that just only got 5 views and it's been sitting for a week. But if you have 1,000 or 2,000 views in 15 to 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure everybody gonna, you know, tune in because they want to see what the hell 10,000 people is watching. Why is everyone watching?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, the social media game is a game, and it's a challenge, it's a puzzle. But you know, I'm learning some shit from you right now, you know, about what it takes in order to try to build a following. And for me, with Real Talk Beyond the Headlines, is really just, I feel like I got some excellent takes. And shout out to the co-host Herschel. I feel like he has some excellent takes too. That's what
Herschel, shout out to Herschel, man. Every time Herschel in the summertime, he cooks amazing barbecue. So shout out to Herschel. Every pool party, if y'all need a barbecue chef, you know, Herschel is the guy to go to.
Bruh, I am so mad you just said that, because Herschel's head is about to explode. But
he can cook. He can cook. Even though he tried to one of my shorties back in the day, he tried to sweet talk her, you know, with some barbecue. But I mean, shit, the food was good. But if it was trash, me and Herschel would have had some words.
Hey, Herschel does cook some very good food, man. Shout out Herschel. So let's do a quick recap of like maybe early 2019. What is some of the most interesting stuff you've done, whether it's interviews or just news stories that you've covered? What's it been like so far?
So I started off the year strong with I did Super Bowl weekend. Did a couple events with Super Bowl weekend. Um, and I did another. I forgot. I did another major event. It's been a little bit crazy so far with the stories. Of course, I did story with Cardi, with Cardi B, I broke that news, about the fight. Not more so broke it, but I got a lot of views off of that. But it's just been a lot of stuff. Is 6 months into this new year, like it's been a lot of events that's been going on.
Okay, you know what? Let's circle back to the Super Bowl. It was in Atlanta, man. I've been away from Atlanta for a couple years, but it is the city that I love the most. Tell me about covering the Super Bowl. I mean, one thing about Atlanta that I love is that Atlanta knows how to throw a party. You bring to the Super Bowl to Atlanta, I mean, it's going to be popping. Tell me about that.
Well, man, the atmosphere was crazy, because, I just had to be around the scene and in the area because it's not like the Super Bowl comes to Atlanta often, or not even just a little bit, so I believe this is the first time in 20 years, that Atlanta has been in the Super Bowl. And of course I was a kid. So, it was, great being down there, seeing some of, my favorite athletes, interviewing some of my favorite athletes. My team I'm a Baltimore Ravens. So I got a chance to interview Lamar Jackson, Devontae Adams from the Packers. I got a chance to chop it up with T.O. and Shaq Johnson. Like it was a lot of people, that I got a chance to talk to and hang around, and it was just a once in a lifetime experience. I had to take it back and take it all in.
Okay, sounds great, man. That sounds awesome. I wish I was there. Like I said, Atlanta knows how to throw a party. Atlanta's always fun. Quick thing. So when the Super Bowl rolled around into Atlanta, I was reading online that actually Vice had a story about this. It might have been in Vice News about how there were strippers coming from other cities to Atlanta to make some money during Super Bowl weekend. And I was just like, this is Atlanta. It's people coming trying to make something for themselves, black people, trying to find opportunity and probably succeeding because there's just so much. But I'm just like, whoa, strippers traveling from other cities? What is that about?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people, that's trying to get their money somehow, some way. The sex trafficking, let's call it a spade, was really high that weekend. It was a lot of crime that's going around the city as far as Uber and Lyft drivers were, snatching up young women that dress provocative and trying to, use them and, do whatever, to them. So it was crazy, because again, it's a once in a lifetime experience. I believe the president was here. It was rumored that Jay-Z and Beyonce rented out a hotel on Ponce. They was here. So it was a lot of people, man, in the city of Atlanta, not even just the club. And the crazy thing about it, a lot of strip clubs in Atlanta are closed on Sundays. So Mayor Keisha Bottoms, shout out to her. She made it an exception for, the strip clubs to be open on Sundays, and it brought the city a lot of money.
Wow. That is interesting to hear. That is actually one perspective that I didn't really gain from reading online, which is why, avenues like you are great because you're plugged in to Atlanta. You know exactly what's going on. I think one thing you mentioned is how there was a lot of people, a lot of stuff happening. I think Atlanta is starting to transcend into what I think you would call a world city. Your Chicago's, your LA's, New York's, those are still on a different level, but Atlanta's, towing the line, and perhaps maybe it's struggling with meeting the demand of being a city like that.
Yeah, I think you made a great point, but what I think Atlanta, it was been starting to get their reckoning. I can tell you the city, like the way you're describing Atlanta, the city is like that is Charlotte, North Carolina. They are the next big city to expand. I believe Atlanta, they started getting their credit just due around 6-7 years ago when people started heavily doing television and doing like the Love and Hip Hop Atlantas and the Black Ink and all of that stuff, started to bring Atlanta. The Avengers, Walking Dead, like a lot of these these shows, have helped Atlanta grow as as popular. But I do agree to your point when you say that they can't handle the demand because we're constantly in traffic, or it's too many people, not enough houses, so I believe it also when tragedies happen where it's like a little bit of flood or when a fucking snowstorm, and the city is shut down 3 or 4 days. I don't think they're prepared for that, and also the demand of how many people want to move here, but they don't have enough resources to maintain the population, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Pootah, real fast. What is the landscape of Atlanta right now? I'm living in Boston, very plugged out. The big homie Herschel certainly keeps me up to date, but you're plugged in. You have PootahTV. You're doing interviews.
Right.
You're interviewing Atlanta rappers, Falcons. What is the landscape of the city? Like, what can I expect when I move back?
Oh man, just a popular city. I wish the damn Falcons would have won it, man. I could tell you more positive things, about the city, if they would have won it. But I believe it's young and it's fresh and it's electrifying. We have such major talent that's making a staple in rap. Trey Young, he's doing great things with the city. I hope they do something on Thursday when the draft comes so they can, spark the city up even more. I just literally right before I logged on, I read a rumor that Kevin Love was gonna probably they was gonna send Kevin Love to Atlanta. It's just electrifying, man, because and it's a lot to do. They're constantly adding on, attractions and new things to do. It's just great, man. And I'm finding out new things. My wife and myself, we're continuously to find out new things about the city that we haven't been in. It's just like an adventure, like we're damn tourists ourselves. So it's a lot of fun in Atlanta.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, if I do happen to make it back, I am looking forward to the excitement. So Pootah, you cover a lot of things. Quick, drop. The Shady Bunch is your podcast.
Yes, sir.
I also think it's really cool how you have like PootahTV, but your podcast is a different name.
Right.
It's like, I would say, a method of branding and a method of distinguishing what you do. Anyway, so I was listening to the Shady Bunch. You guys were talking a lot about music in your 2018 recap. Please go listen to it, listeners, because it was hilarious.
Yes.
And so what is, in 2019, what is the landscape of hip-hop music?
I believe, man, it's a year of women, man. Again, that's just, my take on it. Women is running music, man. Big shout out to the City Girls, Young Miami, Carisha. She's holding it down without, JT. Cardi B is, doing crazy numbers. Meg Thee Stallion. It's just a lot of women. Nicki, I would say, I believe Nicki's career is at the ceiling, but that's another story for another day. Rihanna's coming. Beyonce shit. I think she's coming. So I think it's just a year of women.
Okay. Can you please rewind and introduce me to the City Girls? I know I'm so plugged out. Tell me about it.
Hold on. So you gonna sit there and say you never heard of the City Girls? I'm a guy and I know who the City Girls are.
Bruh, I heard of the City Girls for the first time on y'all's 2018 recap podcast.
What?
And I don't know nothing about them. So
that is crazy. Well, I mean, so City Girls are signed to QC, where the Migos are signed to, Cardi B is signed to. So City Girls, Young Miami, 305, she just got pregnant, she been a couple of months pregnant by Southside 808 Mafia Honcho, JT, they two young girls from not young girls, I'm sorry, two young ladies from Miami that just talking about fucking niggas, scamming them, robbing them, sucking dick. All they talk about a lot of crazy shit. So, I even listen to, a lot of times when my girl throw on girl music and, she rapping, shit. Some of that shit I rap too, City Girls is lit. I ain't even gonna cap to you.
Hey, I feel you, man. When you popping, you can do whatever you want. So, that's what's up though. I wouldn't necessarily know per se about the landscape of hip hop music. And as you said, it's a year of the woman. I take your word for it, but I do believe that Cardi B has certainly established a new lane for herself in hip hop and women's hip hop. And I want to check out these city girls, so I will keep that in mind as I peruse the hip hop music industry.
Just go over to the club, man. Even if you in Boston, man, whatever night that the young folks like ourselves they party, man, go out to that bar, and the moment they say real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga, all the girls is gonna go crazy. Wow, you gonna see that's like the modern day. These are the modern day songs like Juvenile, back that ass up, how the girls run from the bathroom just to start shaking their ass. Like, this is, if you a guy and you want a girl start twerking on you, you gonna want the city girls to come on, trust me.
I feel you, man. I just have to say, real quick about Boston. First of all, I want to debunk some of the myths. Boston isn't horribly boring. I know some people might think that. A lot of people say it's racist. I think that requires a much deeper discussion because I would say it's more so classist, which is very much tied to racism. But as far as the nightlife, man, there are not a whole lot of spots where black people can go and listen to that kind of music, fucking nigga up, rob him, blah, 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 city girls type shit. But where they are and where they are happening, man, it always gets so stupid packed. Which is one thing I like about Atlanta. Atlanta was very much like so many things you could do. If you wanted to go somewhere that's stupid packed, you can, but you could go somewhere that's chill.
You got options.
Yeah. So Boston is a little challenging for that. I think that song, That's How You Feel by Drake, he has a Nicki on it. I forget. Yeah, rule number one. I'm going to read these lyrics real quick. So RTBTH, bear with me. Rule number one, to be a boss ass bitch. Never let a clown nigga try to play you. If he play you, then rule number two is fuck his best friends and make them yes men. So that's it right there. Just like you said, that's the new age.
And women are grasping to it, man. A lot of women is holding on to it, and when they heard that Young Miami got pregnant, a lot of the girls, they was pissed because they thought they was gonna have a city girl summer, or Meg Thee Stallion goes with Moneybag Yo, and they like, damn, so a lot of women that's into that ratchet shit, they're upset right now because the women that they look up to is cuffed or pregnant. So the women is a major influence, and the guys gonna buy into it because the guy want to fuck with the girl and want to get a dance from the girl. So women is holding the key to the to music right now.
Okay. I will be on the lookout for what PootahTV has to report on that. I'm sure you're going to remain tapped in. So, excellent podcast so far. I want to touch on one last thing.
Go ahead.
It's kind of an amalgam of topics, so bear with me. But,
go ahead.
First of all, Future just dropped a tape. But what I want to talk about is what it's like being a rapper in 2019. And I bring up Future because I feel like he's kind of set the stage for a lot of popular rap, which is the drug usage. I learned on the Shady Bunch, the emo rap, and I wonder if it's really a good experience being a rapper these days.
Oh man, as I think, I try to, put myself in some of these rappers' shoes, but I just think a rapper is an emotional, even an entertainer period is just an emotional roller coaster. Just like, humans, but they express their music to the masses and to the extreme. But, I just think that with rappers like Future is one of my favorite rappers. Future is an emotional roller coaster. Young Thug, he goes through a lot of emotions, so it's just an emotional roller coaster, man. You get them at, when it's being misogynist, and rapping about fuck these bitches, men are bitches, and then you get the talk of, they lonely and they need a girl, and then when they're depressed, on drugs. So, then you get them when they're happy and they balling in the club again. So just very unpredictable, very emotional. I would say, just like a human. Just like a regular person, I would say.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I just wonder sometimes about guys like, whom you mentioned again, the 2018 recap of the Shady Bunch podcast, guys like Juice World and XXXTentacion, and I just wonder what it's like being them. I presume they have some money, but I don't think that they're stupid paid, so they still probably have real life worries. And if they are using drugs, that could really get into how you deal with life and stress. And I don't know, the music sounds good. Even Juice World, like, I got a couple tracks that I bumped. Future, he's one of the older rappers, but very much taps into that vibe. I wonder, man, like, what is really like living their lives,
Yeah, I mean, I think for the fans, this goes out to fans out there, y'all listening to Future, talking about he doing 56 pills in a night, first and foremost, if you doing 56 pills in a night and you doing all this lean and drugs, you're dying, so I don't want, a lot of fans, they're taking this, they're believing what these rappers doing, and half of these rappers aren't even drinking. I mean, of course they're smoking weed, but they're not drinking lean, popping all these pills and doing all these drugs that they're saying, because, the stuff that they're talking about, these people can die on the spot, and a lot of people, they're really influenced by that. So stop getting influenced, and also check up on these people, man, because, people is, rapping to a fire ass beat and they talking about drugs and, doing drugs and overdosing and stuff like that. And you just like, damn, I don't give a damn about that. This shit hard. So check up on the people and stop believing in it, because trust me, you're going to end up in yourself in a damn grave as well, trying to keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a podcast that I will leave for another day, but I think the hip hop game or rap game, whatever you want to call it, is due for a reckoning between the misogyny and the people dying. I hate to bring up Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to him. The marathon continues. I love his music and was bumping a lot of it before he died. But the reality is that he died from gun violence.
Right.
And then there are other rappers who are dying from overdoses. And XXXTentacion has died from gun violence. So I think between the misogynistic lyrics and the deaths, there is a reckoning for the hip hop game. But that's a deeper topic for another day. Perhaps we can have you back to discuss that.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Pootah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and great podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. You just told me at the beginning of the podcast today, on June 18th, you dropped the new season or new collection of podcasts, or the first.
The second season. We dropped the second season today, first episode. So from here on out, over the next 6 to 8 months, you'll hear us every Tuesday on Apple and Spotify.
Excellent. All right. All the Real Talk Beyond the Headlines listeners, thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and check that out. The Shady Bunch or PootahTV on YouTube. We out. Peace.
I appreciate it. Peace.